yeah.
Which one sells the best?
Probably the one on the other side with, Trump giving the finger.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Fuck political correctness is, of course, is what it's saying. And then probably, I don't know, the gun ones are big. And people like this one, I don't blame them. I think this is if you don't like that one, there's something wrong with you. You just don't understand what's going on.
It is New Orleans, liberal city.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Extremely so. I mean, it's got, heavy black, Hispanic, gay community. It cracked me up. The ACLU guys out on the street here, right? And they always come, so I always like going up and asking, okay, what's your beef today, And the last time I went up to him, it was like, so what are you doing? He says, we're out here for gay rights. I says, gay rights? So we're in New Orleans. What rights don't gays have here? Because, they can be fired from their jobs and blah, 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 blah. I go, well, let me clue you in something, pal. I've been refused jobs in this city because I wasn't gay. What are my rights? And of course, I'd shut them up. They always come up with these, things that really don't matter. Like worrying about trans, people. And overall, how many trans people are there? I mean, even someone told me there's a course in college. I swear to God. I think it was in Arizona.
There's a major in college.
There's even memes major now in Michigan.
I know the shit I'm hearing, but this is like a course in having to deal with, I don't know how, but it had to do with how to deal with transsexual illegal immigrants. There was actually a course in this. I mean, how many of them are there? In your lifetime, how many transsexual Mexican or Latino illegals are you going to run into, and who cares? Anyway, that's that's an insanity you're born into. You're born into an insane world. I hope you guys already have noticed that, right?
We've learned about it.
Yeah. And believe me, all you're going to keep on doing until you get to be my age and beyond is like, what the is going on around here?
So, are you a fan of Alex Jones?
I've been on the show a few times.
Really?
Yeah.
InfoWars.
Yeah.
What do you think of him?
I mean, great. I'm glad he's there. Somebody, like being out here, how am I going to get published? Who's going to publish me? And then an art gallery? Who's going to put me in their art gallery? So I come out to the streets, which I found out to be pretty cool.
I'm from Chicago.
Yeah, well, what's your school like? Is it mostly conservative? I mean, or is it mostly kids? Well, what's the atmosphere there?
Mostly liberal.
Mostly liberal?
Nobody's conservative.
98% liberal.
99.
99? That high?
Yeah.
And where do you guys, where do you consider yourselves?
Liberal.
You consider yourselves
In
liberal?
the middle.
Yeah.
In the middle?
Yeah.
I think every side has good valid arguments for everything. For some things.
Indeed. A lot of times when people come out here and I'll ask them, like the question of the day would be, how do you define yourself, right? And I'm a liberal. I was thinking, what is a liberal? And when they start talking about it, they might be socially liberal, and then they find out that they're fiscally conservative. So what are you? So labels, and this is the whole deal. Labels were put on us to keep us apart. In the end, I mean, this is what it's all about. I mean, this is what you should be learning in school, is the fact that the powers that be have kept their power as long as they have, because we outnumber them like 500,000 to 1. If a small percentage of it just stood up and started going, hey, we ain't taking this shit anymore, it would end. It would end. We'd have more freedom than you ever dreamed of. So they want us fighting against one another, so they put Black Lives Matter. Well, wait a second, all lives matter. Oh, fuck you. And they keep us at all of these groups, these social groups, when you trace the money, you'll see it going back to the very billionaires that have been socially engineering us through the ownership of the news networks, entertainment industry, the tech industry. Look how the tech industry has been, I mean, in their own words, on camera, censoring conservative thought.
I'm just curious, what do the news networks would have to gain then?
Control.
Yeah.
The medium is the message. I mean, if all you're watching is late night comedians get your, you might as well just stamp idiot on your forehead.
Would you consider InfoWars as bias or unbiased?
Bias.
So then isn't that a form of control too?
No, they're putting it out there how they feel, and you judge. You go where you want to go with that.
Sure.
So
I mean, it's like, all right, who's telling the truth here? I'll listen to CNN. It's my job to have to listen to all of it. And I'm a professional propagandist. I've been marketing and all my life. I've taken all the courses. It's not hard to know what motivates people. I mean, there's only a few things. You want to get laid, you want to get rich, and you're fearful of losing those two things. And if you hit on those emotions, you can pretty much control everybody. And the social engineers have known this for longer than we've been alive.
So then bias would be necessary to fight this oppression and control.
Well, different points of view are necessary. If you consider them biased, whatever you consider them, the thing is it comes down to you. What do you perceive of this? You will listen to an Alex Jones story and then go listen to a CNN story and judge for yourself. Well, who's making the most sense here? And it comes to you to come to that conclusion. The pundits on these guys are paid to tell you what to think. There's only one reason that the corporate-owned news exists, and that's to keep the people in power. When I watch Fox News and I'm seeing the commercials, and every other commercial is from a pharmaceutical company, are you telling me now that if a corrupt story came out about the pharmaceutical company, if they found them sending tainted vaccines or something to another country and those people died and they knew those vaccines were tainted, that Fox News would report on it?
No.
Thank you. And yet that's happened. Bayer sent over 500,000 HIV medicines that they knew were tainted and would go ahead and kill the people, sold them anyway to Hungary. They're going to go to jail for that? No.
I have a different question. Here's to this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
What do you...
Well, that's it. If you want to know why they're lying to us, anybody with two functioning brain cells working together knows that we were lied to about 9/11. I mean...
To what extent?
Just about everything you can think of. I mean,
do you think...
physics, let's just do the physics. Let me just give you something on the physics here. Okay? Because, I mean, you can't argue with physics too much. I mean,
We like physics.
Yeah, thank you. Architects and engineers for 9/11 Truth on the bottom here.
So which source from that? Which source is...
This is close to 3,000 architects and engineers. Some of them are the best in the world, from around the world, who have studied the collapse of the World Trade Center towers and put their names on the line, put their lives on the line, put their reputations on the line, put their families' lives on the line, to say those buildings came down by controlled demolition.
All three? The World Trade Centers? Okay.
Wait. I haven't even posted this one yet. Just the other day, I had a couple from Shanksville. They grew up in Shanksville, right? That's where that third plane went down. And anybody else want one of these?
But why did the planes go into the towers then?
So wait. So she lived in Shanksville, and when the planes, they heard the plane crash. Boom! Right? Got on their scooters and went down there. It didn't take them 10 minutes to get there, and the CIA had already roped off the entire area.
But why would the planes go into the building then?
Who benefited? Who benefited from 9/11? Was it who?
George W.
In a sense, but beyond that, who benefited?
Dick Cheney and the gun. And
that's part of it. Thank you. And beyond that,
The CIA, Patriot Act.
you guys are good. You're getting very warm, but you got to think bigger.
Oil and Iraq.
Aliens.
Oil industry.
That's very good. That's very good. Even bigger.
The Republican Party.
No. No. The military-industrial complex and the national security state.
Yeah.
Boom! Now you get right.
On parle ou pas?
No. So you're saying the World Trade Centers can't collapse by themselves just with jet fuel
No,
melting
it's
steel?
impossible. Physically impossible. Steel melts in a blast furnace with a controlled blast for 2.5 hours at 2,100 degrees before it
It
becomes melted.
doesn't have to melt to collapse.
Yeah, what if it-
Then what would then again, just go through that. Then what would, it would stop because these are not compromised. These were not on fire.
Yeah, but there's
And every reaction has a equal and opposite reaction. So as this fell, it would be crushing too. So it would only crush the here if that hammer effect was true. And then it would just stop.
No, 'cause
It didn't do that.
There's a greater force that's exercising on the lower.
Oh, bullshit. You've got this force next to this force, man. And then what brought down building number 7? Because not a damn thing hit that. And in 6 seconds, it did this in complete free fall. So, I mean, if you can explain to you with 3 pools of molten metal,
I mean, there's-
all wound up and burning for 2.5 months under all 3 of these buildings, how did that get there?
I'm not.
I mean, I'm curious to like.
If you're saying the steel only melted, how did 3 pools of molten metal get into those buildings?
I think.
Have you ever done like counter research where like you try to understand
think people are
how
getting
other people are
antsy.
saying?
I've talked to survivors out here of 9/11 that were in the buildings. I talked to an EMT that quit her job because of what she saw that day. On her way, they got 2 blocks away from the towers, and this is before they collapsed. And they were helping some injured, and the bomb squad came up and said, "Don't go any further." And they're going, "Well, screw you. We got injured people over there. We got to go do our jobs, right?" Says, "You stay right here. You'll be shot." Go, what? So while they're standing there discussing, why can't we go do our jobs? The street they were going to go down the cars started blowing up. Boom, 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 boom. They grabbed their cameras and took pictures of this. The next day, or that night, the company called up and said, "Everybody turn in your cameras." They turned in the cameras but kept the pictures.
Okay, one last.
So she quit her job because of the trauma she experienced that day. So, I'm talking to people that were there, that were personally there. And then when you look at the opposite research, why isn't building number 7 ever mentioned?
We have to go over.
Anywhere.
I have one quick question. Just a yes or no. Do you believe we went to the moon?
Oh, yeah, probably, sure. Yeah.
Think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Many times, I think. Probably more than we know.
All right.
I mean, NASA has the biggest black budget of all the government agencies. If you really want to go ahead and see some very strange, because we have NASA around here, so it's another thing. I've talked to NASA scientists.
We have to go, I'm sorry.
All right, guys, it's
Have a
a
good day.
pleasure talking to you. I hope you. Oh, wait, let me give you one more thing before you leave.
Okay,
Here,
I'll leave-
pass
I'll leave
these
this-
around. These are government. These are get out of jail free cards from Hillary Clinton.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Nice speaking to you.
Oh, thanks from the guy here.
Very nice.
Oh, pleasure to meet you.
Do you think Sandy Hook was a sort of liberal hoax?
I think, yeah. Look up Wolfgang Halbig
Yeah.
and listen to this man's testimony.
Gotcha.
Okay,
Do you think it was
Wolfgang.
fake, though? I mean,
Yeah, I think the whole thing was media. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I haven't done enough research. But
Jay, just look up Wolfgang Halbig. It's just like it sounds. Halbig, Wolfgang.
Gotcha.
And I think it'll blow your mind what you'll find out. All right, so thank
hope
you.
to see us on YouTube.
All right, folks. Look, I got a new store getting on Threadless. It's going to be badass Uncle Sam Threadless. I really need your help. I need somebody to start buying some more work. And I need to start making a living doing this, otherwise I'm going to have to give it up. Things are getting to be strainful on me if I don't start doing it. I'm going to have to sell the rig, and it's basically, and I'd hate to do that because I really love doing this. I like being out here. But I can only be out here if you help me out. So please go ahead, give what you can, become a patron, purchase something. GoFundMe, several ways to go ahead and get something in my bucket. I really appreciate it. Thank you.